To remain updated with the latest business news, click on the bell icon.
Vincent, you've spoken during the discussion a couple of times about user harm in terms of the disruptive new technologies. What are the key areas of concern which you see across the new technologies which we are looking at?
Oh, this will be a long conversation because user harm today ranges from the absolutely criminal in the normal criminal penal code and the normal IPC sense to things that are absolutely unique and new to the internet and unique to the cyberspace, whether it is doxing, gaslighting, cyberbullying on one hand, onto identity theft, and the whole cyber hacking, your wallets on the other hand. So it is a huge canvas of probable user harm. And I think some of them we understand today and a lot of them we don't understand today. Like I was just explaining, mentioning to somebody before we started this, I spend a lot of time on the dark internet, trolling around in user groups, listening to 16-year-olds or 19-year-olds talk about how they've captured an identity or stolen a wallet and transferred crypto from one wallet to another wallet. And you'd be surprised at the technology and the capability that exists there. And so forget about the current laws. I don't think even in our understanding of our future laws, we have envisaged this. That is why I believe that the new laws should be a law that broadly defines user harm, doesn't define it precisely, but allows, as user harms are identified and are thrown up by new tools, by new innovators, for rules and rule making to be permitted around that in terms of how to address that.
And aside of that, cyber security is a continuing threat.
Huge,
now,
yes.
that's a huge threat for corporate sector as well, more so post-COVID as more and more companies digitize. So what is the government's thinking on addressing those areas?
So I just want to touch on one other thing before I get to cybersecurity, and in a sense they are linked. One of the things that we've learned after looking at the Ukraine-Russia incident is that the internet can also become a tool of war.
Absolutely.
And the weaponization of the internet has become something that is, at least to me personally, I'm a little disturbed by that. That the internet can be seen to be taking sides, and blockades of the internet can be imposed on one nation versus the other nation, and that, in my opinion, is extremely disturbing. And one of the things that the Prime Minister said in 2020 was this concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And so therefore, going back to your question about cyber security and safety and trust and secure internet, that it is clear that the goings on around the world are pointing in a certain direction where we need to build more Indian champions. We need to have a much more resilient internet topology that depends less on international. We need to minimize our dependence on international, internet networks, if you want to call it that. We need to be very careful about data localization and cross-border data flows. So there are many issues that are issues of principle that have arisen as a consequence of what we are seeing and observing today. And one big area for me is the fact that intermediaries, especially big tech, who have gained so much from the internet, and who have constantly railed against the government, whether it's Indian government or any other government, have done so little on the issue of safety on the internet, and on whether it's cyber hacking or it is cyber incidents. So I think that area is a very important focus area. We are building up our capacities and tools. Of course, we have significant capacities and tools within the government, but we are also exploring the need for more permanent global rule making, which is because on the internet, the criminal, the crime, and the victim are almost always or very often in three different jurisdictions. And therefore, there is no one law that can capture the entire chain of the event or the incident. So having more and more global rule making, more and more global protocols which allow countries to interact work together. The certs of, let us say, Singapore and India, certs of India and Australia, certs of India and the US, all collaborating when there are cyber incidents. I think that is an additional feature of the model that we are hoping to develop.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.